Well, you might be wondering, how do illegal aliens in the United States gain access to employment, right? With background checks, you'd think that that would be a non-starter, but that's not the case at Uber and DoorDash, where the next time you order some food or the next time you jump into an Uber, that person driving you might be an illegal immigrant, a legal alien, using fake accounts or stealing accounts in order to get employment through these services. Our next guest, Anthony Rubin from Muckraker.com, has just released a bombshell report on this, speaking with, in fact, illegal Chinese nationals who are renting Uber and DoorDash accounts from legitimate account holders in order to run this operation. And Anthony joins us now. Anthony, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, Clayton. I appreciate it.
This is an unbelievable story. So I think we first kind of heard about this, or the idea of this, a few months ago. Can you kind of paint a picture here on how you guys first learned that this might actually be happening?
Yeah, well, there's been a Chinese illegal alien that I've been in touch with for over a year now, and he has led me to other stories that I've broken in your show, like that Chinese invasion blueprint. And so I'm still in touch with this illegal alien. I met him in the Darien Gap, and he's very open. He says, hey, I actually reached out to him. I said, hey, do you know if there's anything that's newsworthy maybe that you could share with me? And he told me that this was going on. And so I flew out to Rosemead, California. That's right there in Los Angeles, and met up with two of these drivers. But according to them, there's many more. One of them was driving for DoorDash. Another one's driving for Uber Eats. And it's exactly as you said. They rent out. Basically, they meet up with somebody who is a legitimate account holder, who is oftentimes an illegal alien themselves, but they've been in the U.S. long enough to establish residency and get a U.S. driver's license and a social security number, and so they can get an Uber account. And then so this illegal alien that has the Uber account rents it out to an illegal alien who just got here, doesn't have the documents necessary to get the account, and the driver, the fraudulent driver, takes 85%, the account holder takes 15%, and it's just done like that. No background check, nothing.
And so people are unwittingly sitting in these cars. They don't know that they're being driven by an illegal immigrant. And these individuals are making money, and they might be delivering your food on top of it, right?
Correct. And to be clear, I didn't interview anybody that was driving passengers for Uber. It was only Uber Eats and DoorDash. However, I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like a far stretch that there could be people driving passengers doing the same thing. One thing that's really important to note, in my research, I found this. After Laken Riley was tragically murdered by the criminal illegal alien that should never have been in this country, Jose Ibarra, okay, after she was murdered, his wife came out and said, well, he was actually employed by DoorDash and Uber Eats. And this was written in the New York Post, okay? It was like on the cover of the New York Post, February 25th. People can go look at that and go see written there. He was employed by Uber Eats and DoorDash. But then those companies came out and they said, well, we deny ever employing him. There's no record of it. And so that leads me to believe either one of two things. Number one, the wife is lying, but that's a very strange thing to lie about. I mean, right. Why would you lie about your husband? Or number two, he was doing the exact same thing that these people are doing, renting out the account of somebody else and driving around for Uber Eats and DoorDash. And so, listen, if it's true or not, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the wife was lying. But the point is that without any background check, you could have a murderous illegal alien delivering your food. It's very well possible.
And they could be discerning about the types of people they want to deliver food to, right? Oh, it's a beautiful young girl. Sure, I'll take that order. And this is what we have. Of course, we have this now repeatedly, and of course, it's happening in Europe as well. Have DoorDash, or number three option in that scenario is that DoorDash and Uber Eats are lying, right? That they're lying
that
about
as well.
It. Have they gone on the record at all about this latest report?
Not about my report, not that I know of. I'll have to check again. But I know that Senator Marsha Blackburn and others, there was a couple of others, Ted Budd from North Carolina, and one more that I can't recall. They actually sent a letter to Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash, I think a couple of weeks ago, concerned about this exact thing. There's no legislation that's being passed, as far as I know, or legislation that's even like up and coming. But apparently they sent a letter, and let's see what happens, to these companies telling them that they need to clean up their act. But yeah, I mean, these are the same companies that are spending millions of dollars on Black Lives Matter, Marxist organizations like that, and the sexual cult that is the LGBTQ plus if you even want to call it a community, I mean, it's a cult, it's an ideology. They're putting millions of dollars behind this, but it seems a little bit like a misallocation of resources. It seems like they should be putting that towards, safety and security while this is going on.
You would think so. You would think so, but of course they're not. When you talk about the IDs and the identification process of this, of course, so many people concerned, well, this is how they're going to be able to vote, right? They don't, they're able to use these accounts. They're able to get driver's licenses. I mean, they're going through a whole process here where in order to do this, they have to get all sorts of legal documentation. I mean, did your source basically explain how they're able to pull all of this off?
How the illegal aliens are able to legitimately get accounts?
Yeah. I mean, how are they able to legitimately get accounts, but also be able to show that they're getting proper driver's licenses and all of these other things?
Well, it's not very difficult when they come over here, especially in states like California, where I was at, for these people to get established residency and then get a driver's license and then get a social security number. It's very it's a simple process, and they have deep nested communities of people that have already been over here and taken the route and come into the country illegally that then got them through the process. What I will say is this, though, and this is really incredible, and this is something that I learned when I was there. One of the people that I met, and she would not go on record or have me film her or even record her voice or write anything down, was just speaking, but she was a Chinese lawyer, okay, a lawyer from China. She practiced in China that is over here now on a tourist visa, and she's been here for 6 months. She flew over here. Within a couple of months, she passed the bar, okay, and now this Chinese national is working in a Chinese law firm helping practicing immigration law, charging $400 an hour, working in the state of California, and helping Chinese illegal aliens claim refugee status. And so, if that doesn't sound like a potential conflict of interest, I mean, to put it lightly, I don't know what else to call it. It's a national security threat, is what it is, and she's not the only one.
Did your source explain how widespread he thought this was? Was this sort of isolated to Rosemead, California, or does this seem like, you talked about Laken Riley, of course, but does it seem like it's more widespread than this?
Well,
and I should follow up that question because, we hear a lot of these individuals using certain groups, whether it's a Discord chat or some sort of a Telegram channel, to get this information out there. Did he give you a sense of where all of this communication is happening to let these illegals know, here's where you go, here's the process, here are the illegal accounts, and it's sort of a flourishing group online in some sort of a Telegram channel or a Signal group or something else?
Well, they have many different groups. There's different activists, shall we call them, that are active on Twitter. Let me just say this. There is an illegal alien who runs a website called Yemen101.com. That this illegal alien served in the People's Armed Police Force. That is a paramilitary organization in communist China. It serves as an auxiliary force to the People's Liberation Army in China. His name is Ziasin Lee. Okay, he served in the People's Armed Police Force. I asked when he confirmed it. You can go look up his name and find news articles about him and see him dressed up in this gear. Now, he runs this website, Yemen101.com, and what it is basically a how-to website for Chinese immigrants. Basically, what to do in the United States, how to work your asylum case. It tells immigrants how to purchase firearms, this sort of thing. Now, but I want to say, so they have all these websites and they have groups on Twitter, groups on WeChat. They pass around documents like the one that I broke on your show almost a year ago. What I will say is this, though. This illegal immigrant, I don't want to get too off topic, but it is relevant. This illegal immigrant who's over here now, in the country illegally as a refugee, apparently, saw that I talked about his website, Yemen101.com, on Fox News, and I wake up one day to 100 messages from the guy, and he's threatening to sue me. Okay, so this is what we have to deal with. So Americans aren't even allowed to talk about what these people do without them threatening us with a lawsuit. Now, I don't even know how any of this is allowed to happen, but apparently it is. But to answer you, long-winded answer to what you say, they have many different groups, websites, WeChat groups, WhatsApp groups, and they pass around documents and more.
Unbelievable. Well, we'll wait to see if DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, if they respond to your latest report. Let us know if they do. We will share that information with our audience as well. Anthony Rubin from Muckraker continues to do amazing work over there, and we appreciate you always sharing it with us. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you so much, Clayton. I appreciate it.
I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. YouTube thinks that you'll actually like this next video right here. It's personalized based on your own viewing habits. So if you watch the video, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about it, and we will see you next time, everyone.